Welcome students. Today Manipur is back in news, and with this we would like to understand what's the context and what line of separation is in Manipur, and what about the Tribal Advisory Council, which is very much important for your examinations as part of your static polity. So without any delay, let's get into the news. The District Advisory Council, the Tribal Advisory Council of the District Jiribam, has requested Central Security Forces to establish line of separation. And this line of separation was necessary for a particular reason. For this, we need to roughly look at the context and why was the ethnic conflict was rising in Manipur. So, I think you might be aware, just to give a recap, Manipur is broadly divided into two geographical areas, one being hilly area and other being plain. In these plain areas, you find Meiteis or Meiteis residing, and in hilly areas, you'll find Kukis, Nagas, and other tribes. There was an ethnic conflict because the first thing, there was crunch of space in plain areas, and people who reside in plain areas, Meiteis, were reaching out to hilly areas which were prohibited, and there was an ethnic conflict between these two, for which there was blame game against both the communities by each other. With all these things, a fresh scene of conflict was started in Jiribam district. So here, from the Meitei areas, the tribals were separated, and for which they requested Central Security Forces, and who requested? Tribal Advisory Council, to establish a line of separation. Again, just to give you a clue, this is completely different from inner line permit. Please don't get confused by inner line permit, which requires permission from the local bodies and Tribal Advisory Council as well. And this inner line permit is to permit the foreigners to reside in that place for a few days. But this line of separation is nothing but a separation so that people of different ethnic groups don't come across and fight to have an ethnic conflict. It's as simple as that. So this line of separation, hope you understood. Now, if you're clear with this, let's move on to the static part of Tribal Advisory Council. This is important for your examination because this is constitutional body. Of course, unlike other bodies which are famous and more focused, this is less likely to be known by many people that it's a constitutional body. And it's constitutional body because it was established as part of Article 241, 244, subclause 1. As it's been mentioned in the Constitution, to establish it's a constitutional body. Now, just to have an idea which states are eligible to have this Tribal Advisory Council, for which we need to refer 5th schedule of Indian Constitution. 5th schedule of Indian Constitution says, it actually names these 10 states. Of course, it says 9 states. The map which is visible here is before division of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So with this division, now it's 10 states, with Andhra Pradesh and Telangana being 9th and 10th states. Along with this, still the Tribal Advisory Council exists in 3 states. One, Manipur, Again, I'm reminding you that these states are not explicitly mentioned in 5th schedule, but still they are deemed to be part of 5th schedule. Manipur, Arunachal, Arunachal Pradesh, and Nagaland. These 3 states are deemed to be part of 5th schedule again because the wording in it says, along with the mentioned states, as may President notify, the areas with scheduled tribes and without scheduled area are also included. So these 3 states would qualify to be part of 5th schedule, and they would have tribal advisory council. So I think you're clear about which states have tribal advisory council. Now let's just look at what tribal advisory council is empowered with and its composition, etc. Looking at its composition, it will have 20 members, not more than 20 members, including the chairman, which may be occupied by governor's nominated person or chief minister of the state. So governor would usually be empowered. As per the constitution, governor is empowered to notify the rules. How does tribal advisory council would function and its composition or nomination if needed. This tribal advisory council is again an example of decentralization or autonomy granted in tribal areas. So if this is clear, few things where tribal advisory council has its role is usually as part of your ethics or environment versus development debate. You'll find there's a conflict between the tribes or indigenous people with the people who are actually aiming at an economic growth to exploit the natural resources. For example, if there is possibility of a mining in that space, then it's clear that the indigenous people may be apprehensive of after effects, but it would be very much beneficial for the economy to have those resources. Then here the decision making is with two bodies. One is Gram Sabha of concerned space under whose jurisdiction the mine would come, and Tribal Advisory Council are empowered to take decisions to either overturn against the mining or any other activity or favor it. So these powers are making it a significant body. I think you got enough information about Tribal Advisory Council. So before ending this video, I would pose a question. As we were discussing about 5th schedule areas here, the question is to mention the states which are qualified to be part of 6th schedule and what are the advantages they would get as part of 6th schedule of Indian Constitution. Please mention about it in the comments. So another day with a better informative video, I'll be back before you. Till then, thank you and bye.